Alright, so I finally have all 8 of the neon speeders. It's all JDM stuff. Not quite sure why they didn't make it a mix. Well, whatever. Anyway, why I try to understand Hot Wheels logic. But here we go. Neon Speeder series. So in chronological order, we've got the Celica, the Datsun 510 Wagon, the Nissan, the old Skyline, the 2000 GTR, and then we have the Mazda RX7 Drift with the drift nose, Eclipse, S2000 Honda, Integra GSR, and then the 350Z. So in this particular series, part of the novelty is that they react to black light. So we're gonna try that out and see how that looks, but first let's open them up. Just in case you're wondering, the cars themselves really don't look all that exciting. They hardly light up. The cars, on the other hand, they definitely light up. Look at that, pretty wild. And I appreciate the comment, by the way. I forget the username of the person who posted this, but they said with a black light you can see the Walmart logos on the Datsun wheels, and I get it. It took me a second, but yes, the sort of 6-pointed asterisk situation. Alright, so there you go. That's how they light up. Let's take a quick look at these in normal lighting. I think that's a fair thing to do real quick. Probably the most exciting is the Datsun 510 Wagon, at least from what I'm seeing. That's the most sought after. Everybody loves the 510s. I love 510s in the late 90s when they weren't really, they weren't cool yet. I almost bought one on eBay. I technically did purchase one on eBay, but the guy rescinded. Anyway, it was a wagon out of Ohio, 1971. Might have been 72 now that I think about it. It was orange, red, with a lot of patina. So, there's the Honda S2000. This is the peg warmer for some reason. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the fact that the nose is a little bit odd on this casting. It's just a rehash of the Fast and Furious casting. This thing is cool. So this is the RX7, the FD RX7. And the thing is, because it's the drift car, and it has the drift style nose, I keep thinking it's got Lotus Elan vibes. Is that just me? It just looks like a Lotus Elan from the front. Anyway, then we got the Mitsubishi, the Eclipse, the one that used to crank walk and it was a kind of a nightmare of a vehicle. Everybody who races these races with the old 4G63 engines out of the first generation. I personally think I've always loved the styling of this car. I mean, this is a mess with the graphics and everything else, but it was a nice, clean car, especially before Fast and Furious kind of made it popular. And in the mid-90s, when they came out, they were really cool. And I always thought, if you drape this over a 5.0 Mustang chassis, if you, like, essentially made this rear drive with an LS or a 5.0 motor or whatnot, that would be an awesome car. Anyway, Acura Integra. They call this the Custom GSR. Custom 01 Acura Integra GSR. Anyway, then we've got the 350Z. By the way, not a single side view mirror on any of these castings. That is very disappointing. This thing's cool. portions that are a bit off, but still cool. Of all the cars, if I could have one of these, a real version of one of these, it probably would be this old Nissan Skyline. Well, I don't know. Maybe the 510. Actually, maybe the RX7, now that I think about it. But the Nissan's definitely cool. Even the Toyota Celica is awesome because they picked a vintage Celica. It's an 1870. It's the Notchback hardtop, technically. Anyways, there you go. There's your view. Or I should say, there's your look at all of these. So good luck finding these in stores. They are kind of hard to find, so hopefully you beat the scalpers.